forces conducted an extraordinary military operation, and it was an assault like people have not seen since World War II.
They said he was all talk until 150 US warplanes swarmed the skies of Caracas and snatched a sitting president from his own palace. Now, the crosshairs have shifted to the Mexican border, and the world's most dangerous cartel bosses are realizing that there is nowhere left to hide. The United States military just pulled off an operation so intense, so calculated, and so high stakes that we haven't seen anything quite like it since the height of the Second World War. We're talking about an extraordinary display of raw military power.
Cartels are running Mexico, whether you like it or not. It's not nice to say, but the cartels are running Mexico. And by the way, you have to do something with Mexico. Mexico has to get their act together because they're pouring through Mexico. And
recently, the US Armed Forces conducted a surgical assault that has left the world, and especially the criminal underworld, completely stunned. This wasn't just a routine raid, it was a message. And that message was delivered with 50 casualties hitting the dirt and a chilling warning sent straight to the desk of the President of the United States. Right now, a name you need to know is Fausto Isidro Meza Flores, better known in the shadows as Chapo Isidro. He's stepping out of the darkness to warn the Trump administration that if land strikes begin on Mexican soil, there will be a massive, bloody price to pay. But here's the thing, it's not that simple anymore. This isn't just about moving substances across a line on a map. We are witnessing the birth of a precedent that has every single cartel leader, from Sonora to Chiapas, absolutely terrified. Believe me when I say, this is hands down the most dangerous moment in modern border history. We are entering the Sinaloa storm. But before we dive into how the US military literally rewrote the rulebook on sovereignty, do me a quick favor, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. We're tracking these high-stakes border developments every single day, and you don't want to miss what's coming next. To understand why the cartels are panicking, you have to look at what happened in Venezuela just weeks ago. In January 2026, the world watched in disbelief as the US military launched Operation Absolute Resolve. There was no warning, no long-winded diplomatic build-up. In a matter of minutes, over 150 aircraft, including heavy bombers, stealth fighters, and advanced surveillance planes, saturated the airspace over Caracas. Dramatic satellite images later revealed the precision damage at key sites across the city. By the time the sun came up, Nicolas Maduro was no longer a head of state. He was a prisoner of the United States, being processed at a detention center in New York City. This one move shattered the long-standing narrative that the US would never actually go in and take a foreign leader. It proved that the talk about narco-terrorism wasn't just campaign rhetoric, it was a tactical shift. So, when President Trump turned his attention to the Mexican border and started talking about land strikes, people didn't just listen, they started packing their bags. He's been vocal about it, claiming that while maritime drug trafficking is down a staggering 97% thanks to heavy naval intervention, the land routes are still wide open. He's openly stated that the cartels are running Mexico, and if the Mexican government can't or won't stop them, the United States will. The spark that lit the fuse in Sinaloa was the extradition of a major plaza boss known as Kung Fu Panda. Real name, Roberto Najera Gutierrez. Now, don't let the nickname fool you. This guy wasn't just some foot soldier, he was a narco-terrorist mastermind who moved massive quantities of narcotics using a fleet of boats from South America, through Central America, and straight into the heart of American cities like Chicago, Atlanta, and New York.
We have the most powerful military anywhere in the world.
Within hours of his extradition on January 8, 2026, the regions controlled by the Sinaloa cartel became a total war zone. Bodies began piling up, at least 50 casualties in just the first week and a half. We're seeing scenes of total destruction across Culiacan and the surrounding villages. But this wasn't just a normal cartel war. It was a reaction to what many in the underworld see as the ultimate betrayal. You see, Kung Fu Panda wasn't captured in some heroic shootout. He was given up.
This guy had multiple opportunities to find his way somewhere else and figure out another. He could have been living somewhere else right now very happy, but instead he wanted to play big boy. And so now, he's got other sets of problems on his hands.
Under immense pressure from Washington and likely fearing they might be the next Maduro, the Mexican government made a radical move. In one single, unprecedented operation, Mexico handed over 37 high-impact cartel figures to the United States. They were pulled from different cells, different regions, and different cartels: Sinaloa, Jalisco New Generation, CJNG, and even the remnants of the Zetas. Speaking of high stakes, if you're finding this deep dive into border security intense, make sure to like the video. It really helps the channel get this information out to more people. This mass handover of 37 individuals, including Najera Gutierrez, marks a turning point.
Video shared by Mexican authorities shows a line of handcuffed prisoners surrounded by heavily armed and masked officers being loaded onto a military jet.
According to them, 37 were described as high-impact criminals, representing a real threat to the country's security.
Since the current Mexican administration took over, they've sent a total of 92 figures to the US. This includes legendary kingpins like Rafael Caro Quintero. The message from the US Justice Department, led by Attorney General Pamela Bondi, was clear. The cartels are no longer free to import poison into American communities. But why is the word narco-terrorist being used so much now? It's a legal distinction that changes everything. On February 20th, 2025, the Sinaloa cartel was officially designated as a foreign terrorist organization. That label is a game changer. It allows a president to potentially deploy military assets or conduct strikes without the same level of congressional hurdles required for a traditional war. The cartels know this. They saw what happened to Maduro. They know that once they cross that border in handcuffs, there is no coming back. In the past, an arrest in Mexico could be reversed through corruption or a violent prison break. Remember the chaos when El Chapo's son was first taken. The city of Culiacan literally detonated. But extradition, that's a one-way ticket to a supermax prison. With the old guard being picked off or handed over, a new and much more discreet power is emerging. Fausto Isidro Meza Flores, or Chapo Isidro, has been a ghost for years. While the sons of El Chapo, Los Chapitos, were busy fighting a bloody internal civil war against the faction of Ismael El Mayo Zambada, Isidro was quietly building an empire from the ashes. His labs never stopped. His roots stayed open. While the Mexican Marines were raiding everyone else, Isidro's structure seemed to absorb the damage and keep moving. But now, even he is being boxed in. In December 2025, Mexican Marines tracked one of his most trusted pillars to a small town. A fierce gunfight broke out with helicopters and heavy ordnance. Minutes later, the pillar was gone. Isidro's recent warning to Trump is a desperate attempt to draw a line in the sand. He's essentially saying, if you come for us on land, we will turn the entire border into a permanent war zone. And, honestly, it might be working. We're already seeing shots fired at Border Patrol agents from the Mexican side, and the price of shipping skyrocketing due to the instability. We are now in uncharted territory. This is a psychological game of chicken between the most powerful military on Earth and an organization that has nothing left to lose. Trump needs to look strong to fulfill his campaign promises of stopping the land routes, and Isidro needs to look strong to keep his remaining allies from flipping to the government. The violence we've seen so far, the 50 dead in Culiacan, the burning vehicles, the narco banners, is likely just a preview. If the United States actually starts hitting targets on Mexican soil with the same in and out precision they used in Venezuela, the traditional cartel structure won't just evolve, it might disappear entirely. So, what do you think? Is a direct military strike the only way to finally break the back of the cartels, or are we just opening a door to a conflict that will haunt the border for decades? It's a tough question, but I want to hear your take. Drop a comment below. Do you think the Venezuela model will work in Mexico? And while you're down there, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories the mainstream media is too afraid to touch. The Sinaloa storm is just beginning. As the standoff between Washington and the cartels reaches a fever pitch, only one thing is certain: the border will never be the same. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.